So the question has arisen as to what is the Nectar Garden and what am I actually shooting for? About 10 or 12 years ago, I made a feeble attempt to write a blog. The title of that blog was Life in the Nectar Garden. And what it was supposed to be about was planting trees and cover crops, different flowers, to feed honeybees. Most people think of honeybees as being a tool of agriculture. So you bring the bees around to pollinate whatever crop. For me, it's kind of the reverse. I think that agriculture can be used as a tool to help your honeybees. There's a guy out of MSU that wrote a column relative to that. I can't remember quite what the name of it is, but it can be figured for those that want to figure it. So anyway, this place here is not strictly a nectar garden. It's a garden for vegetables. It's a garden for flowering trees that produce nectar. It's a garden for trees that produce fruits and nuts and berries, not just for people, but for the animals. So what I'm really trying to do here is generate a lot of diversity in things that are beautiful, that animals can eat or that we can eat, that help all the pollinators, not just the honeybees. And I kind of want it to last. And this YouTube channel, I mean, I would like to get rich off of it, but I really doubt that's going to happen. So all I can really do is just try to educate people about what I'm doing here, and for the people that are curious, rather than me explaining it to them one by one, I can do it in one shot and actually show people a little bit better by taking a video that's actually out here. I think I'm going to have better luck than I did with my blog because I don't have to stop what I'm doing and write stuff down. I can just talk, and I got somebody that's willing to help me by operating that little cell phone right there, which people that know me know that I can't do that. But anyway, so now that I explained a short Reader's Digest version of what I'm trying to do, we're going to get into one of the plants. So right here, this is autumn olive. Somebody brought it here to feed the birds. Now you can tell it's flowering profusely. And I'll tell you what, it smells great. To me, it smells like root beer, anise. And there's a lot of honeybees on it. Might be kind of hard to tell. You would think that they would be swarming on it, but this stuff is everywhere. Now the problem with this stuff is that it's an invasive species. So I've been doing a lot of work to kill this stuff. I've killed maybe not quite thousands, but definitely hundreds of these things around this property. I've burnt them up and made them into charcoal. Most of the charcoal that I produce is actually made from these things. So you might ask yourself, well, you want all this nectar, why are you killing the nectar producing bush? And the reason why is you don't want 16 acres of this stuff. And if you don't try to get rid of it, you will have 16 acres of this stuff. It'll fill in every space that isn't already taken up by a tree. It's a noxious weed, and if I was lucky enough to be able to kill every one of these things, which I'm going to try and fail, but I'm still going to try. But if I killed every one of them, there's 10,000 of them surrounding me. So it's not going to affect my honey production by killing these things. I mean, most people don't even know what it is, let alone are they even ever going to try to do it. But right now in this moment, being out here, I love it. It's great. I mean, I can smell it. It's everywhere in the wind, and the bees are going crazy on it. And if this was the only one around here, it would be covered with bees, but it's not. It's just everywhere. I think the scientific name of this thing is Elaeagnus umbellata, and it gets spread by the birds eating the berries. So the birds just poop berries out everywhere. Here's one, there's some, there's a bunch of them over there. They were all over the place. Before I killed them all, the whole front yard was full of them. I paid a guy to kill a bunch of them in the back, and it's still just everywhere. But yeah, that's your little introduction to the reason and the purpose of the Nectar Garden. And that's how I'm doing it out here in Claybanks.